Yo, what up YouTube fam? So today we're gonna do a quick video on the Harley handlebar adjustment, the tools and steps necessary to get it done. Enough talking, let's get right to it. Here's a quick look at the before the handlebar adjustment. A little too high for me and my liking. A lot of people do like this style and are comfortable with this riding style here, but me, I want to change it up a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get right into it. So here go the first step. So for this first part, I'm gonna use a couple of tools. I'm gonna use a socket wrench with an extender on it, and my extender has an adapter for this star key. I'm going to use the 40 and the 25. The 25 is going to be used for these two screws here that you see for the sides of the gauge cluster. One is longer than the other, so you definitely have to take that into consideration. The 40 star key is going to be used for the 4 bolts that are located under this gauge cluster here. Now by applying some pressure to the top of this housing, the back side of it is what's holding it. If you push down on the back side of it, the front side should be able to pop off once you pull on it a little bit. This thing hooks on the bottom, close to the ignition, and at the top in those two positions. And as you can see in here, you have the 4 bolts at the bottom that we want to try to access. Accessing these 4 bolts without having to remove or unplug too much. This is the reason why I have the extender on it. Loosen 3 of these by leaving one just snug enough to move the handlebars without the handlebars actually falling. So now basically, keeping my bike balanced on this kickstand, sitting on the actual seat of the bike and holding the handlebars up, loosening all 4 of the screws one at a time in a star pattern until I have the last screw that's pretty much holding tight. Once this last screw is loose, just enough for me to start to move these handlebars down and pull them towards me. I don't want it where the bars will fall. Just want it loose enough that I could just start to move these bars towards me. Notice that the brake cable and the clutch cable are long enough that you can actually move these bars and adjust them forward or backwards towards you without causing any interference with these cables. Get into the position that you want it in as you're sitting on the seat, so that way it feels comfortable to you. Of course, arms not stretched out too far if that's not your riding style. A little bit of bend in the elbow. I mean, I just got, my arms are pretty long, so I got just a little bit of bend in the elbow. And then I tighten down on one of these screws just to hold it in place. Take a look at it from the side. Because basically what I want to do is make sure that my forks and my bars are almost aligned enough just for the style that I'm looking for. Having my forks and the bars almost aligned, which I'll show a before and after picture anyway, just to where I got it set up to so far. So after all 4 of these bolts are tightened down on, and you're happy with the way that these bars are sitting, go ahead and, like I said, insert the bottom lip of this, the face of this gauge cluster back down here by this ignition switch. Pop the face of it back on. Remember where your longer screw went for the left or the right side, where the longer screw versus shorter screw went. Get those back in there. You know, I didn't have to unplug anything for this. Kept everything plugged up. I just pretty much turned the gauge housing to the side with the extended piece on my ratchet, just so I can get up in there without having to unplug too much. I just wanted to make this nice and quick and simple before the kids came down here looking for me. No, just nice, quick and simple, just like that, straight to the point. that's what we have so far. So just wanted to adjust these bars so that way just the better ride, better feel. But when I'm turning corners and stuff like that, especially with this rake on here and this 30. So like I mentioned, for putting this thing back together, you just insert the bottom tab right above the ignition switch. And the top portion of it, once you press some pressure on it, it'll snap back into place. You can go ahead and enter the 2 screws on both sides of this gauge cluster, one being longer than the other. Just make sure you keep note of that, and you're pretty much done. So let's go ahead and go for a little test ride and see how it feels. See if I like it. Here's a quick update of the side profile, what the bars look like after I put them back. Definitely handles better around the corners, but comment below, let me know what you think, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until the next one, peace.